Welcome to East Tennessee Pinball. Today I've got this Addams Family in here. The chief complaint was that the flippers just weren't working reliably. The guy on this game had it someplace else, and they had basically put in new flipper switches, and they'd replaced. They got no new flipper switches, and they'd replaced a flipper board controller. They swapped this. This is the original, and put in a Rotten Dog, and he said it was still. He said the right flippers were not working all the time. When it came in here, it was the right one was working all the time, and the left one, when I first booted up the game, the left one wasn't working at all. And I saw it jump, just kind of barely move once, and I hit it vigorously about 15, 20 times, and it started working. And it started working from then on. And I was thinking, well, maybe, this kind of the oily coating that sometimes comes on these switches, it just hadn't worked off yet, and it was fine. So I thought, well, that's just too easy. So I called the guy up, and he said this problem actually existed with the previous switches. So I have no idea what those previous switches were like. This game is actually in really good condition, so it doesn't have an extreme amount of wear on the switches, but they could have been maladjusted. I just don't know. But so I was playing today, and the left switch started messing up. So I had an opportunity to look at it. So I got under here, opened it up when it was not working, and if I pressed like that with my finger, it would go every single time. If I pressed like this using the button, it wouldn't. Some of you already looked at this and figured it out. If you look real closely down here, right there is essentially a stiffener. And this, I'm gonna have to get a screwdriver to do it. This piece there, my tool is a little too thick. Let me go get the right tool. Okay, I'm back. So, the switch adjustment guides sometimes are a little too thick. This little piece here needs to be up against that inside. It needs to be putting pressure on it, and then this part needs to be, so those two need to be mated basically, so that stiffener basically keeps this one from moving very easily. And what that does is it allows when this one pushes in, when you push the button in, it allows for more force. So when they're touching more forcefully. Likewise, this upper one, actually the tensioner is, it's not. See, that tensioner there is not touching the backside of that blade there at all. So this is the stiffener, and they're not touching. So you almost have to push them in one way and then push them back. And I'm gonna need the other tool to do this, I think. This is up time when you need the other tool. That actually might work right there. They're probably gapped a little too much, and the top one's not gapped quite enough. It's hard for this phone not to focus on the wrong place. That looks a lot better. I believe that is the source of the problem. I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. It's got the same problem. Well, if I can focus in on it and not on everything else wrong. Yeah, this you can see better. That stiffener there is not engaged, and that's what keeps this part of the blade from being real floppy. That needs to be up there to give it support. Likewise, this piece here needs to be up like that to make this piece stiff, so that when this pushes in on it, there's a lot of force between those two contacts. And that's why the engineers that design these things put those blades on there, not just for fun. See if I can. Okay, that's got that one looking decent. This is really hard to do one-handed. I'm not quite this incompetent with my hands, but I am with one hand holding the phone. I'm gonna go put y'all down. I'm gonna use both hands, go get the other switch alignment tool in addition to the screwdriver, and I'm gonna get this done. All right, I think I got them all adjusted here. Parts of it I had to use the switch alignment tool, and parts of it I use a screwdriver. The problem with the switch alignment tool is you try to jam it in, say, place like that. If I try to adjust that, the width of half the switch alignment tool is so big, it will spread those two apart, and that's exactly what you don't want. You want to keep those two right there mated. You want them to have intimate contact. Likewise right there. So you can't put a switch alignment tool where part of the tool is in between there. Or maybe you can, but not the one I'm using. So you have to kind of get a little screwdriver or your fingers or something and work it another way. Or sometimes I'll take the switch alignment tool, go in the top, and slide it down and jam them together. Sometimes that works also. Just be creative, but make sure that the bottom line is those things have to be touching and have a little pressure. I used to try to bend one way and one the other so that they're pressing together. So that's better. Let's check out these other ones. Well, there we go. I cannot focus in on the plunger. I think that's going to better. I think that's going to fix our problem. If you're watching this video, it definitely did. Let's just say that. Anyway, thanks for watching the videos, and please click like and subscribe to this series. Bye.